Welcome back to the Dynamark project, guys. It's a beautiful day outside. Although my shed is still full, I didn't get anything out yet. Got the engine out of the Dynamark, you can probably see. I'll get more of that in a minute here. Got some other stuff just laying around. But the wheel horse is all saddled up and ready to go, and I'm about to go pick up some new stuff for it, so we'll see when I get back. And we're back. So, I had a surprise, and this is what they are. These Wandas, I don't know, 18 by 9.5 by 8 on quad wheels. We're going to be going on the new project. Here's Danny clears the shed out to get work done. I'm probably just going to get on the tractor rims here. So that's the surprise. Today I'm just going to probably get the clutch on and do a couple other little things here. So Danny's going to paint his fenders. So we're going to get to work here and then we'll see what we get done. So as Danny prepares to paint a second coat on his fenders, taking advantage of this nice day, I'm in here thinking what my next move is going to be on the Dynamark. Here's the tires that are going on it and what's coming off of it. It sits pretty level now with these flat tires, and these maybe a little bit taller than how those ones are flat, so we'll have to see. But they do have a ton of tread on them, so I mean, man, they should really dig. It's going to be a small tire tractor, but it doesn't really need big tires for where we're going with it. So, but we'll talk a little bit about clutches here before I actually get to work on them. Here's the clutch I made. I took a clutch like this, stock Dynamark clutch, and I cut it and then welded this old deck hanger on, and then a flat pulley and a V pulley. And in theory it was a great design, but it never, I mean, it kept the belt tight, that's for sure, but it never released it good. I always had to shift on the go. I couldn't, if it was in gear and I had the clutch in, it would be creeping. So, but this clutch, it's set up in here like this and pivoted. Where the stock clutch, which isn't this clutch, I think the stock clutch is this. Still, it's Dynamark. It's all pretty much the same. It's set somewhere like this. And the engine would be right there. And it would hold belt tension on and then swing out like this to release the tension. So that's all good, but whenever you put the bigger pulley, it just won't fit. So before, I've moved them back some, and they work for a while, but they're not the greatest. So that's why I designed this double pulley one. But that's why I'm getting back to this one, because I actually want a clutch that works. That was the reason I stalled all the time. So I'm just going to leave us like a smaller pulley on this kawi when I put it in, and try to do something with the back. So I'll get the clutch on and hooked up, and we'll see how that looks. So I'm up under my engine stand here, if you can't see the tranny behind me, and I got my clutch on. Well, a clutch. I'm not sure if it's the one I'm going to stick with. It's a Dynamark clutch, but I don't think it's the one that came off of it. Seems like it appears that it might work. I had to take the safety switch off. It wasn't being hooked up before, but I just never took it off to get more movement out of my clutch. And I ran my spring and everything, just kind of to see what it was like. Now, if you think, the engine pulley is going to be here, and the belt's going to wrap around the clutch like this, and that's with the clutch out. Now if you push it in, it goes straight like that, Let's see if I can lock it. Okay. So then your pulley, your engine pulley is still going to be here, but instead of it having tension like this, it'll be in, loosening it a lot, and it should work in theory. So not really sure if it will, but it's definitely worth the try. Hopefully it works. That'd save me a lot of headaches. But yep, that's it. So we were working just to do something to pass the time here while we were thinking of what else I can do to my tractor. So we decided to take the pulley off of this Kawasaki, and I honestly just put the puller on there, didn't even get my ratchet on it yet, and I was just tightening it enough to get some tension on these arms, which there really isn't any. And look, you can see like the shiny part. Look, I can pull this pulley off by hand. I'm just screwing this off by hand. I can't believe it. It won't come off by hand, but I'm screwing it off by hand. The only reason it just stops is because my bolt bottomed out that I was resting on. That's just amazing. So, I guess that's just one more thing down here. Once I get this pulley off, I'm going to slide it in, and we'll see what it looks like. So, we got the pulley off, and I just set this engine in here, and it looks good. I mean, it looks like the right size for the tractor, bigger than the 8 did, but there's a problem with this muffler that I don't even want, which I think was pretty sick. And it has the 2-bolt flange from the factory. It runs around this huge lengthwise pipe and into the muffler, which I thought I could cut it off and make some cool exhaust. But it's just sitting on my tie rod here, not allowing it to sit flush, which isn't a problem. But that opens the door to more possibilities. The more I think about it, the more I'd like to maybe cut a hole in the frame and run the exhaust out the frame or something. But I can just use all this pipe, I think, because I don't think it's bolted to anything but the muffler. So we'll get this exhaust off of here and get the engine to sit flat. So the exhaust is off. Wasn't really that big of a problem. 2 bolts here. Actually, I can put the nuts back on. And 1 bolt here, like one of the engine bolts maybe, held the exhaust on, which wasn't a problem. Except if you can see these aluminum shavings here. Well, the only thing really here is aluminum is this block. And this hole, you probably can't see, the threads are pretty far gone, because whoever took this engine out when I took it to the junkyard just torched this bolt off. So it kind of destroyed the threads. Not a problem, I'll have to run a die through it. But it would have been a lot nicer if I would have noticed that you could just slide this exhaust out. Would have saved me the whole problem. But I guess full day of school, I wasn't thinking right after that. So we'll sit this back in here. I'm gonna have Dan hold the camera as I sit it down in the tractor. So that's a pretty accurate view of how it's going to be sitting. See, it clears everything. I think the bolt holes even line up. Not really that all familiar with these Kawasaki's. We have one in one of our John Deere's for cutting grass, but that's all I know. The other side right here, you can't even put a nut on top. It just runs up there. So, all the cut wires and everything. But I mean, these things are pretty interesting engines. You'll probably see more of it here as I get further into it. But that's a good look. And I can show you what I meant by the pulley and everything. See, there's your clutch. That's all the way in. We take our pulley just to get an idea. So If I can find the keyway here. Alright, well, I can kind of give you an idea of how far away from the pulley it is. And then the clutch comes in almost straight to it. Actually, this end might have to be slid up some more. My pulley just fell off. Just because of how close it is, or I'll have to figure the clutch out, I guess. Something. But we'll see. So, that's about it for work today. It's getting kind of dark out. Just people ripping up and down my street. But I have an idea for a snorkel setup for this. Run my piping off of my engine, my airbox here, up under my dash. Instead of having it up under my dash like this, had the piping run up under, but have the filter out like this under the steering wheel. But there'd be a big hole cut in here, so instead of this sticking out this far, it'd really stick out like this far. So pretty much I'd know if my balls get wet, I'm kind of in too deep. So it's a pretty good way to put it. So we'll have to see about this exhaust setup. I'll definitely be using the pipe and the flange and everything. So that's all there is for today. Tell me what you guys think about this and give me suggestions, guys. I need a lot of ideas here. Helps out a lot. But we gotta get cleaned up before it gets too cold. Get Danny's fenders in here. So we'll see you later.